Hey guys, welcome back to an interesting video on Wild Rifts. They're back with a Twitch jungle full AP complete guide. So of course, I think we've covered, we did cover Twitch jungle before, but that was, I think it was, I'm not even sure, it's way too long. I don't even know if it was AD or AP, but regardless, it's before the runes rework, so we're gonna cover it right here, right now, irrelevant what we did last time. But anyways, of course, as usual, don't forget to check out the Twitch basic guide for his skills, living order tips and tricks, as well as his combos. But without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So, you guys know that I love playing Twitch jungle with Liandry's as my second item. But why are we going for it last item now? Well, I'm going to explain to you why. So, this Twitch jungle build is basically meant for burst. So, Liandry's is a DPS kind of item where you are relying on your poison. This build is going for first strike, full burst Twitch. Like, you should kill someone within like 2 seconds of coming out of invisibility. So, I'm going to explain to you guys how that works. Now, first up, we're going to get the Boots of Mana first item. For the 55 AP, basically. The mana regen is kind of helpful, the movement speed is also helpful. But in case you guys don't know, Magic Pen is completely useless on AP Twitch. Why? Because Twitch's passive does true damage, his auto attacks does physical damage, his Q doesn't do damage, his W does physical damage as well, his E also does physical damage, and his ult just enhances his auto attack. So Twitch does not do any form of magic damage. So Magic Pen on Boots of Mana is useless, and Void Staff is completely useless to build on AP Twitch. So that's just a FYI, because I think some people don't actually know that, but you're building this for the 55 AP and not for the Magic Pen. After which you get your Nash's Tooth, and Nash's Tooth is now going to give you 60 AP straight away instead of giving you AD, since now you have the Boots of Mana, which already gives you AP. So this is going to give you 60 AP, of course the ability haste, as well as the attack speed and the unhit magic damage. And then we're going to move on to getting Riftmaker. Now Riftmaker is going to give you a couple of things. First up, is going to of course give you more AP, more ability haste, a little bit of health. But the two important parts is, number one, it gives you the Omnivamp. So Twitch, of course, Omnivamp, really useful for him to just stay alive and heal up. Secondly, the Void Corruption passive obviously helps you deal a lot of true damage, which helps you to fight against tanks, which you'll see in the gameplay later, as well as against squishies. It's just more damage as well, and of course going to help you burst them down. And of course the next obvious item is going to be Death Cap. Death Cap of course is going to increase your AP by 40%, as well as give you 110 AP, and by this point we already have like 55 AP from here, 60 AP from here, and 80 AP from here, and that's just a ton of AP overall basically. So now, if we, most of the time that by this point in time, most of the games I play normally ends by the time I get Death Cap. But if the game goes later on, you want to get Runan's Hurricane as your next item. What Runan's Hurricane does is, it allows you to burst down not just one person, but now it's going to be like multiple people down easily, because it's going to let you stack your poison on like 3 people at once, and you're going to one-shot 3 people at one go. And then finally, if the game gets to that point, Liandry's is going to help you basically kill anyone who you have not one-shot. Like, if you have not 100 to 0 the person, they will have full stacks of poison on you. They will have full stacks of poison on them by this point, and you can just walk away. They're basically going to die to Liandry's plus your poison at that point. So for the runes, you want to go for First Strike, because don't forget you're playing Twitch jungle, so First Strike is going to allow you to basically gank any lane, come out of invisibility, get that extra First Strike damage, and it's going to help you just burst people down, in addition to giving you more gold to get your items more quickly as well. So this whole kind of Twitch build basically revolves around First Strike, because AP Twitch, I believe, is going to be better with Liandry's as second item if you don't have First Strike. But with First Strike, focusing on the burst, this is going to be a better Twitch build to get more burst damage down, in conjunction with your First Strike. Brutal, of course, because you still auto attack a lot. Coup de Grace, of course, against low to basically burst down low HP enemies. Giant Slayer against tanky targets is good as well. And this time, for once, I'm actually taking Legend Alacrity instead of Bloodline, because we already have Omnivamp from Riftmaker, and we don't have a lot of attack speed. We only get attack speed from here, Nash's Tooth, 45%, and if we reach Runan's, another 45%, but I think Legend Alacrity is going to be very, very helpful. Finally, Sudden Impact for the armor penetration. Of course, as I mentioned before, Magic Pen does not help Twitch at all, so this is for the 13 armor penetration, which is going to increase your damage even more. So finally, of course, Smite and Flash, because we're playing Twitch in the jungle. But with all that said, let's jump into talking about Twitch's gameplay. Okay, so now moving on to Twitch Jungle's gameplay. And honestly, I've been wanting to try out this AP Twitch Jungle for a long time now, but I just couldn't bring myself to play jungle. You know, I don't necessarily enjoy playing jungle, especially like, of course you guys know I'm an ADC main, I love playing ADC. Don't really mind playing mid and support, but I don't quite like playing top and jungle. But I think I'm a decent jungler, you know. If you want to be good at a certain role, you kind of have to know other roles as well. Like if you're playing ADC, you have to know like jungle clears and like when junglers might show up, that sort of deal. But anyways, let's get straight into what we're doing. So first up with Twitch, in my opinion, you always want to start red buff. You want to ward, control ward blue buff, and you always want to start red buff because you're highly likely to get invaded, so you want to get your blue warded, and you always want to start red because, especially with the Twitch first strike kind of deal, you could you want to start leveling E first, then you can take Q at level 2, and then you can gank. If there's no gank available, then you can just continue on with your farm, but you level W instead. Now here I was actually planning to go to gank bot, but if you guys didn't notice here, they already got a kill bot on the Vayne, and Alistar is like really low now, so no gank to be had at bot. So here I'm going to show you guys both the strengths and weaknesses of AP Twitch. I'm going to show you guys a reason why he can be very strong, and the reason why he can be very weak. And we're going to get into those as the gameplay progresses. But for now, just seeing how we clear, I'm just going to basic explanation of the clear. Do red, Krugs or bot gang, then you go into Raptors. Make sure to always target the big one, and then spread it with your E. So here you can see the weakness of Twitch. Here, he's completely prevented from doing what he wants to by control wards. So good enemies like this Akali are gonna get control wards and they are gonna ward. Now obviously, like I said, you need the game knowledge to play other roles. Akali knew that as a Twitch, I would start at red. So what did she do? She control warded the river bush at the red side. So I'm not gonna talk about this Alistar skirmish, nothing too much really interesting here. So with the control wards, it's really difficult to play as Twitch. So if the whole enemy team does that, I basically can't play the game. Because if you control ward all the bushes and you know when Twitch is coming, when he's invisible, you basically can't get off any good ganks. That's the first big weakness of Twitch. The second big weakness of Twitch is being invaded. So if the enemy jungle is good at what he's doing, or if he picks something that's aggressive, Lee Sin, Kha'Zix, K, honestly anybody is going to be able to beat Twitch in the jungle in the early game. So even this Nunu could invade me right now and I would be in trouble, especially because he has Electrocute. Thankfully though, in Wild Rift, most people either don't know they can invade a Twitch, or they just don't do it, or they just autopilot to just clearing their own jungle. So thankfully, that's not a major weakness of Twitch jungle, but if I'm playing against a Twitch jungle as the enemy jungler, I'm definitely going to invade him because he's really weak, especially at his first buff. If you invade him at red buff at like level 1, most likely you're going to win. Most likely you're either going to kill him, or he's going to have to back away and you're going to get his buff. Either way, you're going to get a huge advantage, and it's just going to be good for you. So those are two big weaknesses of Twitch. Here you can see again, now I'm on blue side. Again, Akali just wards the blue side, so I can't gank her. She knows I'm here. The moment I walk into the lane, Akali walks away, Nunu walks in, tries to CC me. I have to flash the wall. Here I'm trying to stack up, and here I just get instantly bursted down and I just die. Thankfully though, Yone is able to actually trade the kill and then flash after the Akali to get a double. So overall, we traded 1 for 2, which is of course really advantageous for us. So overall, it kind of does work out for our team. But yeah, so here you can already see that I've basically gotten almost no first strike value. I pretty much only got it off the Alistar, which is almost nothing. And yeah, so basically I completely can't play the game now because of the control ward. So of course I do want to gank Akali Yone because Akali Yone is a very volatile matchup. There's no point in me ganking Garen because Garen is a really tanky chap and I can't really kill him easily. I could gank bot lane, but they seem to be either perma-fighting and then after that of course recalling and stuff, or they're always just pushed in, so I can't really find a gank at bot. And honestly, if you play Twitch and you're not ganking, you kind of are not doing your job properly. You're not snowballing, you're not, you know, really being very useful. You can see I'm 0, 1, and 2 at the moment. It's not going very well, at least as of now. So we're going to look to try and change that. Here again, I'm looking for a gank, but because the wave is pushing in, there's no way the enemy team is going to walk up. So here, I'm just going to farm my Raptors instead, and I'm just really struggling to really have any kind of impact in the game at the moment. So here you can see that Dragon is going to spawn. as well as Herald, of course. So we are gonna, of course, go for an objective. Hopefully we can get a fight there and, you know, find some kind of impact. But here we're gonna get components towards our Nash's Tooth. Of course, we already completed our mana boots, and of course we're in like all right territory in terms of items. And here, of course, Dragon is up. So here I'm just gonna pop the Blast Plant. After, of course, running over the wall to make sure there's no one there. That I'm gonna Blast Plant myself into, and me together with the Seraphine, we're gonna try to take this dragon. So here once again, Alistair comes in. Here I'm trying my best to just pop my alt kite around, and here I'm just blasting Vayne. I get condemned against the wall, and here I'm trying to finish off the kill on Alistair. I pop my poison, I believe. I don't get the kill, and I get assassinated by Akali on the backline. So once again, another huge weakness of Twitch, the third one by this point, is the fact that Twitch is a squishy ADC. So I mean, at this point, he's kind of like a squishy assassin when you go for this kind of build. But he's a squishy boy, whichever way you want to look at it. So, assassins are going to just one-shot you. It's same as like when you normally play Twitch in the ADC role. You're going to get destroyed by assassins like Akali. You can see that I literally could do nothing against her. And I find myself 0, 2, and 4. However, the good news is, because of the fact that you're invisible, a lot like champions like Evelyn, for example, even if you're invisible, even if you're behind, you can get back into the game. So here I am invisible. I'm just blasting down this Garen, popping my first strike. Everything. Yone just pops on over, gets a beautiful KS, and I'm left with no kills still. So here, Herald is of course up. We just got the kill on the enemy top laner, and Fiora is pushing down top lane. It's not the worst thing in the world, but she could help us with Herald, or she could push top lane. Of course, pushing top lane gets tower damage and gets plates. Here, Nunu tries to go in. Of course, I knew that he was coming, so I'm ready to just walk away. Here, Yone gets a good engage onto him. I'm just basically just blasting him, and I am able to actually smite secure the Rift Herald, but I'm left at like 1 HP because I had to tank the Nunu out. Thankfully, Akali does not manage to hit the Q on me, and I'm able to stealth my way out to safety. And now I'm going to just recall with the Herald, and you can see my team is going to go onto the Akali like so. Akali gets ulted by Yone, and Fiora picks up the kill. So now, take a look at the timer. It's 7 minutes into the game. Turret plating will fall at 7:30, so I'm rushing my way there with my stealth to get the bonus 10% movement speed, rushing my way to like bot tower to place the Herald, because Herald will secure me the first tower together with all of the tower gold. So here you can see I'm just running straight to bot. About 10 seconds remaining for tower plates, and here I'm just putting down the Herald. At the same time, I've ulted. I'm just blasting Vayne together with Alistair, and here you can see we get the first tower gold as well as the tower plating gold. And here, you know, now that we've chased our bot lane away, we have the support of our Seraphine. We can just roam into the enemy jungle, and you can see Nunu is actually in mid. So here the Herald's even gonna get a second charge. I get his Gromp, and I'm going to go ahead and get his blue buff as well. So here, take note of how Seraphine is just basically just staying around our area, and she's just basically there to ready to support us. Here she ends up tanking a Nunu W, and here because she does that, I'm able to just pop my ulti. Actually, I don't even have my ulti. I'm just able to pop my auto attacks and blast down the Nunu. And here Alistair comes in next. I'm going to blast down the Alistair as well. Pop the Expunge to secure the kill. Now I'm getting chased by Garen, so I'm going to back off a little bit. Now I'm going to try to turn back, but he ends up running away instead. And yeah, so basically nothing too much happens at the end of the day. So here I'm just going back to farming. Fiora looks like she's really interested in going for a kill on Garen. She does cut off the Garen, and they're getting into another fight. I don't have to concern myself too much with that. I'm just gonna go ahead and continue farming and, you know, keeping up my farm. Now you can see I finally gotten like 2 kills in the bag, and you can see in terms of goal, I'm doing relatively okay. I'm not super fed like Yone or Ezreal, who are indeed very fed, but you know, I'm more fed than everyone on the enemy team, so obviously my team is doing well, and I'm doing well myself. So here we cleared the red side. We're gonna actually just back here and pick up the components for the Riftmaker, which unfortunately we can't finish at this point in time, but we're not going to go over and farm our bot side. Now you can see that in terms of the enemy team, we can see 3 people, now 4 people actually on the opposite side of the map. The bot lane plus Nunu and Garen are all there. Only Akali is actually on my side of the map, so I know I'm relatively safe, nothing too much to do here. Now here you can see I'm going to try to go ahead and assassinate Akali. Now this is how Twitch is meant to play. You stealth, walk into a lane, toss your W, ult, and then start blasting away, and then pop your E, and they should just get one shot. Unfortunately, my first ulti auto attack went onto the honey fruit of all things, and because of that, Akali actually lives on 1 HP even after the poison, which I am very, very sad by. So unfortunately, our first auto attack went to the fruit instead of the Akali, and that basically cost me the kill. Obviously, that's no one's fault but my own. It's a mechanical misplay on my part. Also, on the other hand, I have no idea why the W auto targets to go for the ward. Doesn't really make sense, but here we secure the skull. Dragon's up in 10 seconds. I'm going to quickly back and complete my Riftmaker because that is a relatively major purchase. And we're going to hit back out onto the map and run to the dragon. Now here I actually swapped my normal wards for a control ward instead to secure vision of the dragon area. But you can see here the two teams are kind of skirmishing at the mid lane area, kind of fighting for priority and just like, you know, trading blows. So instead of going for the dragon, I'm going to go straight to joining my team and see if we can help them out. Looks like my team is more or less peeling away from the enemy team by this point. So I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm just going to go straight onto the dragon together with the Yone. And we're going to quickly try to secure this before the enemy Nunu can come. So take note that of course Nunu is a really difficult jungle to secure objectives against. I'm actually surprised I got the Rift Herald just now because of course Nunu has his Consume Smite combo. Here we're chasing into the enemy jungle and I'm popping my ulti, getting the kill on Garen, and we get another reset, we get another kill onto the Nunu. And we're going to reset and try to chase down the Vayne, but Vayne does manage to escape. She must have flashed the wall here. On the replay you can see that she did consume her flash, but when I was there I was wondering where did she go, because like, you know, she couldn't have run that fast, so I think that she probably flashed the wall most likely. But anyways, you know, not too important. We're just gonna go back to clearing minions and clearing our jungle. Now our whole red side is up again, so we can go ahead and start clearing the red side. Ezreal is doing our red buff. Probably just leashing it for us, so we're just gonna secure the red buff to let him get the buff share. And go ahead and continue our farming. Now we can see, as we're farming, we can see a fight happening mid, so we're gonna actually rotate to the fight instead. I'm waiting for my abilities to come back up. I stealth in, go in for the flank, boom, I come out of nowhere. Look at that burst damage on all of the enemies here. Unfortunately, we don't manage to secure the kills, but the kills are secured by other people instead. We do get 2 though, we do get 2. I thought that was at least a triple or quadra there, but unfortunately it was not the case. Here, we have a choice between Inhibitor and Baron. So the enemy Nunu is alive, but we can see Fiora has chosen to go Inhibitor and the rest of us have chosen to go Baron. In this case, the split call is actually really helpful because number 1, we secured Inhibitor. Number 2, we force Nunu to go and stop the Fiora, which he does, but we trade Fiora's life for a Baron, which is a trade I would take any day of the week. And now we're back on track, and from going from where we went from 0-2 to now 6-2, so now we're back on track, ready to carry our team. We now have like the most gold in the game at 11.5k gold, more than our 8-0 Yone, and more than our 6-1 Ezreal. This is, of course, we have not only been killing people, but we've also been farming the jungle and even some minions very well. Of course, as a goal-hungry champion, you do want to make sure to maintain your farm at all times. So you can see that the burst from the E, just from the AP build, is just insane. As you can see from all the jungle monsters at this point. Here Alistar goes in by himself into 2 champs. So here I'm just going to auto-attack him down. I have my ult, but I'm not going to waste it on him. I'm just going to hit him with my auto-attack. Remember, the true damage from both Riftmaker as well as my passive is going to not shred tanks, but deal a decent amount of damage to tanks at the minimum. So here with the Baron buff, we're just pushing in. Honestly, we can't really end the game, so no real point of pushing mid, but Garen now just runs in on us, and now Vayne runs in on us as well. So now we're gonna, if we kill 2 of them, we can just end the game, which is what we're basically doing here. Vayne doesn't manage to escape, Garen just dies as well, and yeah, out of nowhere, we just basically get a nice end to the game. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and goodbye.